modern Britain. Luke Pollard.
Thank you, Dame Maria. It's good to see you in the chair, and I'd like to thank the member for Cleethorpes for introducing this debate so well and for setting out so clearly, I think, asks that will be shared on a cross-party basis. I'd like to declare an interest as the proud son of a theologian. My mum taught me from a very early age the importance of not just understanding difference, but celebrating difference. And I think that is at the very heart of the utility of religious education, the teaching of religions in modern Britain. And I would say to the Minister, it's good to see him back, but if a cause can unite some fabulous Camp Lefty MP like me and the people on his benches, then actually, I have to say, then that is a cause worth listening to, because it unites the entire stretch of our parliamentary debate here. Now, RE is often valued for its contribution to values education, the teaching of values, the teaching of those foundational building blocks of our society. And our diverse society provides an opportunity for students to examine values from a variety of religious and secular points of view. That is at the heart of it, what religious education can provide as an output from its importance of teaching. And although the West is increasingly secular, it is worth saying that we are an outlier on a global basis. The vast majority of people on our planet lead a religious life in some way. And if we are setting our children up to fail, if we're not teaching them the values of understanding different societies so they can draw on the benefits of that diversity in their own lives and for the benefit of our culture as a whole. Now, British culture would not be where we are today if it weren't for religion. Whether you are religious today or not, understanding our culture, our philosophy, our politics matters. And that is so much harder unless we equip our young people from the early age with an understanding of religion, understanding the different values within religion, understanding the tensions between religion, and understanding that at the very heart of every major world faith is a similar principle: to love each other, to do good to one another, however it is formed, in whatever book that is written in, and however you worship, that same human principle of looking after one another. Now, I think religious education matters, and it should matter to more of us more often today. Because when a child is taught to engage in the differences, in the sensitive area of religion, it equips that child with the skills of critical thought, of listening to others, of attitudes of empathy and discernment expressed with courtesy. Now, those words matter because that is the type of person that I want to see leaving our school system. Someone that can have strongly held views in their own, thoughtful views, but also views where they can listen to someone else, even if they disagree, to be able to challenge their own views and help inform others. Now, RE is an endangered species in our school curriculum. Just as dance and modern language and drama, it is being squeezed out by an attempt to focus on a smaller number of subjects. Now, that is not to say that those subjects where the government has focused on in recent years aren't worthy of focus in themselves. Maths, English are important for everyone. But our education system should deliver well-rounded young people to the world. And without an understanding of RE, there's a hole in their education. RE is a vital point of not only being a good global citizen, but being a good British citizen as well. And that is what we should be seeking to do, create. And that is why it's not just about faith, it's about politics as well. And I would like to see every major political party at the next general election include a simple one line in their manifesto, and that is that RE should be taught more in schools. It is a desire to say we recognise the value of this. We think there is importance in studying it, and because of that, sitting behind there should be a focus on how we train our teachers. How do we make sure they're equipped with the knowledge, the deep knowledge, to be able to interrogate faith, to be able to communicate faith, to be able to share experiences with others. And that's where I think the asks from the member for Cleethorpes were so powerful. And the good folks of NATRE, I think, have done a great job in sharing briefing materials to members in this debate. I'm sure we'll hear that a few times. In particular, I want to pay tribute to Katie Freeman, who is a brilliant young RE teacher from Plymouth, who I think many people in this room will have had experience of meeting. Her calls for a national plan for RE, and the way she expressed them to me, made it human. That's not just a document to sit on the DFE shelf. That is a motivation for RE teachers to understand their value, to say what you teach our young people matters, and to say that where weak or invisible teaching exists, there should be challenge to it, whether via Ofsted, by governing bodies, by head teachers, by parent governors, or by children themselves, having a focus on what's happened. And it is true that over the last 5 years, we're seeing more and more teachers teaching, coming into our school system who have had 0 hours of teaching in RE, that lack all deep knowledge of religious education. Teachers trained the last 5 years, 20% of them reported no RE training, and a further 20% reported less than 3 hours training. That's wholly insufficient to be able to understand the fabulous diversity of faith on our planet, let alone how to communicate it to our young people. I support the call for the government to look again at reintroducing initial teacher training bursaries for RE. If this is to be something that we value in our school system, we must value the teaching of it. Therefore, we must value the training of teachers in it. I think a national standard for religious education, that's been voiced earlier, to challenge Ofsted, I think is a really important part. Now, worship is not religious education, but it is part that many people come to this debate through, a concern that the values that they were taught have somehow been eroded or deteriorated or removed. But that same value that we come to that debate with should be one that encourages us to make sure that every child has understanding of the diversity of faith, the diversity of values that we have, and importantly, the similarity of values. Because when hate is on the rise, we have a choice about what we do with it. We need to arrest the immediacy of rising hate, the hate crimes against people based on their religion, their background, their sexuality. But we do so best where we root out the causes of that hate. And that's not just with a counter-terrorism strategy, that's not just with increased policing, that is with education. And so I wish the Minister the best of luck in his role again. And I'd like to encourage him to look at how religious education can not just be a hallmark of the Department for Education's approach to our young people, but how it can be part of the overall strategy about how we address rising hate in our society, working across government to value the importance of celebrating diversity and equipping all our young people to be able to not just understand the world they're going into, but be able to thrive in it, to be able to get the benefit from that diversity that we see in our communities and across our planet. Thank you, Dame Maria.
Fiona Bruce.